Hi everyone, my name is Alejandra Guerrero. I'm an academic support coach for the Trio Keys program. Welcome to today's Keys Information Success session called Note Taking. Let's begin. So first you'll need to sign in order to earn credit for attending this session. Please make sure you scan the QR code. So there are a few rules to keep in mind. Remember that this is a space for everyone. What is said here will stay here. I will not go out and share it with the world. Listen and be respectful to each other. If you are not comfortable sharing, you may pass. You may be here just to listen, take advice, take what you feel you need, and most importantly, also use kind words when expressing yourselves or talking to others. So think and share. Do you struggle with note taking, and what is your current note taking? So personally, I do struggle with note taking. Sometimes I take too many notes or not enough notes, or at least that's how I feel. And my current note taking strategy is a mixture. I use a mixture of Cornell notes and a little bit of sentence note taking. Uh, you guys will see the similarities and differences between them as we progress through the session. So throughout this note taking Keys Information Success session, aka KISS, I hope to give you guys more an insight about the most common note taking methods used today and how effective it is to take notes and why it's important. Also, you will be encouraged to hopefully have selected a note taking method that works best for your major and your learning style because we are all different, we learn different, we develop different, and so we have to find a note taking style that works best for us. And so, what is the purpose of taking notes? So, basically, it's another way for you to refresh your memory and to reorganize the information you retained in a way that makes sense to only you when it comes to reviewing. Instructors often tend to share information that is not found in your textbooks that you are required to have in your classes. Sometimes they say, oh, this is going to be on the test, so make sure to write this down. So it's important to always be taking notes and be alert in class. Taking notes helps you, like I said, become an active listener and have better critical thinking skills. And what does research say about this? Research says that students who take notes tend to have an increased concentration in class because they are focused on retaining information as well note taking. But yeah, sometimes it is important to back away from taking notes and focus on on what the professor is saying, so you can retain. Note taking during class and reviewing right before tests tends to produce better results for students. So, note taking methods. There are many note taking methods out there, but here are a few that we'll be going over today because these are the most commonly used by college students today. So first off is one of my favorites and one of the ones that I personally like to use in most of my classes, and this is Cornell Notes. So this note-taking methods allows you to review the material easily because of the structure. As you guys can see on the picture I have provided, one side is divided into like main ideas, questions, or topics, and then on the uh, right side, you have more of the keywords. You're able to do information from the textbooks, draw pictures, diagrams, formulas, whatever it is. This is pretty much like a universal note taking method that you can use for just about any subject, any class you're taking. And the nice thing is that it has an area on the bottom for you to summarize what you learned. Just in case, you don't remember what you learned in the previous class, you can always go back to your notes and check out the summary. What was the uh, overall lecture about. This note-taking method helps you stay organized. As you can see, there's quite a few, uh, divisions made along this note-taking style. Like I said, the left side, right side, and the summary. Those allow you to write down topics and ask questions on the left side, and also the main idea allows you to put down, keywords, important information related to the main ideas or questions you have on your left side. The only downfall I think about using this method is that it might require more concentration from you during lectures or when you're reading stuff. But other than that, I think it's a very effective note taking skill to use, and it's kind of a universal one. So, personally, this is my favorite one. And next, we have the outline method. So, this looks a little more simple, but this one it's important to listen to your instructor as you write and remember that you have to have some type of structure, organizational structure For example, like every topic will be um, highlighted or in bold, showing that it's like the main topic, and then below it you'll have some annotations, Roman numerals, or dashes of like that are like the subtopic or supporting thoughts about the main topic. And yeah, this system works right if you're well organized. If the lecture is going a little too fast, you may not be able to catch up, but again, it just depends on your learning style and what type of class you're taking. Next is the sentence method. So it is often confused for the paragraph method, which the paragraph method is a method where you just write no structure, you just completely write. Tends to be a little harder to go back. But this sentence method consists of writing every important information as you hear it, every important fact on a separate line, and you kind of number it as you go, like paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4 for every main point. The sentence method is slightly more organized in paragraph, like I said, but it can be difficult to determine like the major points, the main topics, as you're kind of just writing as you listen. And it is best to use this type of method when you are not having a whole bunch of material thrown at you during the lecture or while you're reading, because a lot of professors tend to read pretty fast off the presentation slides or just talk fast. But yeah, this is a good method as well, kind of not having too much content to look over in class. Yeah, for the charting method, this method consists of charts and columns. Consists of a chart, which is basically columns outlined with the appropriate headings or related topics, vocabulary words. And this tends to be great when you're comparing, contrasting certain topics, vocabulary words. For example, if you're comparing two species in a biology class, if you're comparing two formulas, when to use them, like the overall meaning of it. Or if you're comparing, in a history class, what happened in the 1950s, how does it from the 1940s? Just varies. And this may reduce the amount of time you spend writing notes in class, and it's easier to just find the facts or the vocabulary or its definition that you need to, because it's very appealing to the eye. And yeah, it's just easier as well to study. You just kind of read through each little square and you find it. So it's a lot easier once you get the hang of it. Yeah, this could be used in pretty much any other subject in class. So overall, here are some tips to use regardless of your major, the type of class you're taking, or the note-taking strategy you choose to use as a college student. So remember that note-taking is a very important skill to have as a student. The notes should only make sense to you, so do not worry about what your partner, your classmate, whatever is drawing or writing out in their notes, because they retain information different, they learn different, they review different from you, so it doesn't have to make sense to you. Try to use colorful tools, that way you're able to have a better understanding of where certain things are at. Use neat and organized handwriting that will help you stay organized, but that does not mean that spelling needs to be perfect, because you are writing really fast, trying to retain information, trying to make sure you take intake all the information the professor is telling you. But if you are writing really fast because the lecture is heavy and fast paced, then go ahead and use symbols and abbreviations. That will make it faster for you to write more notes that are, useful and effective. With that being said, make sure that you look at what's important and what is too much information that is not needed. So decide what you really need. For example, oftentimes I know math professors tend to give you guys index cards to use for exams, or like a full sheet of paper. They say, hey, you can use this full sheet of paper on your exam, front and back, or just one side. And I've seen students just write like in the tiniest font possible and fill up every single corner. Well, let me tell you, a lot of times those students do not actually end up using the note card because it's information they already knew. So don't stress too much. Sometimes too much information on the notes is not needed. But yeah, there are also many note-taking methods out there, so remember to use the one that works best for you. And if you guys need further information or more support, we do have TutorMe, which is a free online tutoring service for UKEYS program students only. This has millions of tutors out there around the world that you can meet with live 24/7. Again, it is free to you. You can access this through the Canvas shell. Yeah, so this is a great tool to use, especially if the Success Center is closed or you're not able to meet with your professor for one reason or another. So we do have some social media. Scan the QR code, stay connected with us. We do tend to post information about events or helpful information to you guys as college students. You also need to complete this KEYS information success session workshop evaluation survey. It just lets us know how we did, specifically me, and any suggestions you might have. These are my resources. And thank you guys so much for your time. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me or the KEYS office. Have a great day and a great rest of your semester.